is up, guys? It's a brand new day. It is a few weeks later. Took a bit of me time taking a handy. So we are in the Civic. We're going to bring it down to the garage. A few niggly bits need to be sorted before it goes into the NCT this weekend. So let's get to it. Down to the garage. There's going to be no messing in this car. It's the last thing I need is to be in trouble with it. So let's get to it. So I shall see you in the garage in a minute. So guys, we are at the garage, and yes, I know there's something you can notice. I finally cut the curls. Had to go. It was really starting to annoy me. It kept getting on my face. The curls are gone. Good haircut was back. So we're going to get the Civic into the garage in the next few minutes. Just waiting on Aaron to come back. He's doing a few more bits and pieces on the CRX. He's not happy with the paint job, so he's thinking about respraying the whole thing. So we'll see what's going on when he gets down in the garage. But for now, I'm just going to get the doors open and the Civic in. Right guys, garage open. Just stick on, I know it's bright out, but there's nothing worse than not having light in the garage. And luckily Aaron installed these super bright lights, and they are bright. They really do brighten up the place. It's a lot better. So yeah, Aaron's not happy with the paint job on the CRX. He said it's going to take too long to flat and polish it down because he didn't get the finish he wanted. So he's thinking about stripping it all back and repainting the car. And he said in a different colour. So I'm just going to wait on him to come down. I'm going to see what his plans are, see what he wants to do with the CRX. As you can see, he did sand down the roof. It's all the way down, nice and smooth. So all he has to do is give it a light sand with a low grit paper, maybe 1000 or 1500 grit paper, and then re-lacquer it, and it will come up absolutely mint like forged carbon. Should be nice. Can't wait to see that finished. We will keep it updated on the channel. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait an hour to get down. I need to move the CRX. Obviously can't move it on my own, but yeah, we're gonna move the CRX and get the Civic in and just check up everything, put split pins in, tighten everything up, and make sure she is 100%. So Aaron's not gonna be here for about half an hour, so I'm just gonna give it a try move the CRX forward. We did do the brakes in it, so it should be okay. So I'm going to try and move that forward and get the Civic in and re-bleed the brakes. Just going to move all the crap off the floor, then I can get the Civic in. I'm going to reverse it in, jack up the back, bleed the back brakes, and then put it down and do the front. Let's do it. Now, Civic is in. Just stick this down for my bad knees. Now there's a centre jacking point in the backs of these Civics. There's usually like a tow hook in the middle. Mine was cut off to fit the back bumper in the lip. So I'm just going to jack it up from that point because that will be the strongest point on the Civic, on the rear. So let's get this on tight and jacked up. Doesn't need to go too high. I'm just, once the back wheels are off the ground, that should be fine. A little bit more. And both back wheels are off the ground. Now when you're bleeding your brakes, obviously you need enough room to be able to get in the front, so make sure you have access to the door. Also, you need to open your bonnet. Leave the bonnet open, obviously, and then you're going to open the brake master. Just leave that there upside down. Now there's plenty of fluid in it, but I'm going to add more into it to fill it up to the top and just give the back brakes 5 pumps each. So for anyone that wants to bleed their brakes and never done them before, I've learned myself how to bleed brakes. Obviously checked it up online, watched YouTube videos, but the best way to bleed your brakes is start from the furthest point away from the master cylinder. So obviously, right hand drive, master cylinder is in front of the driver because that's where the pedals are. So you're going to start with the passenger rear wheel, then you're going to go to the next wheel, which is the driver rear wheel, then you're going to go to the passenger front wheel, and then do the driver wheel last. So you start from the furthest point to the closest point to the master. So I'm going to get the passenger wheel off, I'm going to get the tools I need and get it done. Now guys, some Honda nipples are different, so you will need a various of spanners. I have an 8, 9, 10 and 11. I'm nearly sure mine are 9s. Aaron's were 10s the other day. So these are the spanners I'm going to be using. I'll also show you what else I'll be using. Brake fluid, obviously .4, as you can see, bit of .4, and then this bad boy. This is the Halford's brake and clutch bleeding kit. It's a self-bleeding kit, so it has like a little valve inside, so it's a non-returner valve. So when you pump the brakes, it doesn't let the fluid go back into the system. Highly recommend. I've used it a good few times, so let's get cracking. Right guys, first things first, knee protection. Second thing, impact gun. Take wheel off. Roll wheel out of the way, obviously. Can't be in the way. Don't let it roll away. So then next thing, we need our size 10. We are going to loosen off the nipple. Okay, once it's loose, tighten up a little bit. Make sure it's not too loose and leaking fluid out. Then I'll bring it over closer. Nipple is here. You put this black piece on the nipple, push it on, and then this plastic piece is like a locking mechanism. You push it over that so it stops it from coming off. Then we are going to loosen the nipple off. So the nipple is off, loose enough so we'll be able to see fluid come through. So I'll just let the camera watch the fluid come out as I pump the brakes. So we're just doing 5 pumps, checking for any air bubbles. If there are air bubbles, 5 more pumps. So I'm going to do 5 pumps now. One, two, three, 4, 5. Check for any bubbles in the line. No bubbles. Perfect. Then you're just going to nip it up a little bit. Take off the plastic clips, very hard to go off. Now, and that's that one bled. Now, nice and tight. So that's the driver rear done now. So now we're going to move on to the front passenger. So I'm just going to get this done, fast forward everything, and see you in a minute when the car is back down on 4 wheels. Now all 4 corners bled. We also drained the gear oil and topped it up with 1.5 litres. So that's that done. Brakes are done. So time to go on a spin home and pick up during the week down the garage with the CRX. What is up everyone? Apparently to the wife, my garden has become a junkyard, but none of these are junk other than the Fiat. Looks a bit junk, but it will be nice in a few weeks. So updates on the Civic. The Civic is for sale. I am selling the Civic to fund the Supra. The VTEC Mini is back up on the website. I'm after changing it to 200 tickets, €50 a ticket. There's no second cash prize or third cash prize. It's just the Mini going for sale. So €50 a ticket, 200 tickets. Let's get it gone. Let's fund that next build. So I'm going to head down to the garage now, give Aaron a hand with the CRX. He is colour changing it. I just went and got him 320 grit discs and 400 grit discs. We're going to sand the whole car down and fully respray it. He said he has the colour down there. So let's head down to the garage, have a look at what the colour is, and let's see what state the CRX is in. But before we go, just look at this Mini. She's filthy, she needs a wash, but I love it. Oh, she's dirty. Still need to get that brake bias valve just to get the brakes working 100%, then I can drive her. Need to get my front lip off Aaron to get that sorted and then get the car back on the road. So the other day I did come out and look at the Mini and I noticed this little bubble. That little bubble has to go. So Aaron's going to respray the front lip and I'll get it all put together, and then I'll get the car down to the garage and get this fixed, because the car will not be raffled like that. Everywhere else is perfect, all around the arches, all good, but that door is annoying me, so that will be addressed. But yeah, the Civic is for sale and it will be NCT'd and then it will be sold, and then I'll have funds for Supra after the Mini is raffled off as well. The Civic is beautiful, it's so nice, so is the Mini, but unfortunately I do have a dream car I want to get, my Supra, and that's what is going to be happening. I really need to wash this car. I really need to drive it as well. But let's head down to the garage. I thought he was messing, but he's not. He's actually sanding the whole car down and respraying it. As I was saying, I won't be giving the colour away until he sprays it, but it is going a different colour. It's not staying the green. He's not happy with it. He keeps saying that he's spraying a Suzuki's S2000 colour, which I don't think will look good on this car. Bit of pink with some white stickers, I don't know. But having a look at this now, there was a wire from the loom going inside to his temp gauge and it didn't work, so he ran a wire straight from the actual temp sensor to the clocks and it's working. So I think I might have to dive into mine and see why the temp isn't working. Still a bit of a mess, but once it's finished, it should be lovely. Here's all the discs I got. So we're going to start sanding, getting the car ready for primer. To try and sand the car down and prime it tonight. It's now 8 o'clock, so let's see if we can get it done. It's amazing when you have good quality gear, good sanding disc with a good sander, what you can do in a matter of a few minutes. Like, that's the whole bonnet, sand it down to where it needs to be to get primed. So I'm going to move on and do maybe the front bumper and maybe the boot of the car. We do the boot first. We get the top parts of the car done first, and we make our way down. Because Aaron already done the wings, dusty, very dusty. He done the doors, quarter panels are done, but need the edges done. And actually the boot was already done, so I think it's just the back panel and the bumpers to do. So I'm going to start on the front bumper and get that done and ready for primer.
Now that's all the car prepped now. I'm going home, so we'll come back down tomorrow and hopefully hopefully it'll be all primed. Aaron's going to stay here for a while and get it done, so peace out and see you tomorrow, where this will be grey or white primer.